Hello guys, my name is Mohit Kolati. Today I am going to provide you the quick tutorial on how to integrate Power Automate with OpenAI. So in today's agenda, we'll cover the brief introduction about OpenAI and ChatGPT. Then I will cover how to use API from the OpenAI and its models, how to integrate Microsoft Power Automate with the OpenAI using APIs, and then we'll perform a small demo on the use case. So if we talk about the OpenAI, so OpenAI is a research organization that aims to develop and promote friendly AI. So it performs various researches related to AI like computer vision, machine learning, and robotic automation, process automation. So it has releases many models to make AI more accessible to the developers and researchers. Some of the OpenAI models are GPT-3. So this model can understand and generate natural language. We have Codex that can understand and generate code, including translating natural language to the code. Then we have Content Filter. So this model can detect whether text may be sensitive or unsafe. So OpenAI recently trained a model called ChatGPT, which interacts in a conversational way that can take, say, prompt input or instruction from the user and provide a detailed response. So ChatGPT interface has a dialog format which makes it possible for the ChatGPT to answer follow-up questions. So using this link you can access OpenAI, and then what we need to do, we need to go inside the documentation. So inside go for the API references and then the introduction part. So this will let you know the whole things about the OpenAI API references, how can we use the authentication, and how can we use the requesting organization. So for our demo purpose, we only require the authorization. So for this, we need to create the API key. So I will let you know how can we create the API key. So first of all, I will let you know something about the model. So in OpenAPI, we have several models which we can use to get the response from the API. So as I told you earlier, we have GPT-3, Codex, and Content Filter. Inside these we have multiple models like Text, 𝐷𝚑𝚆 003. We have others also. So these models have different features and different capabilities. So in our current scenario, current use case, we have used this one, Text 𝐷𝚑𝚆 003. So now I will let you know create the API key for the authentication. API, we need to go inside our account and then the view API keys. So here I have already created my key. So by clicking on this create new key, you can create your secret key, and then you can copy that secret key. so that you can use that in your API call for the authentication. So for our use case, we need to go inside the create completion to gather the information. So we have used this endpoint and we have used post method because we need to post our request to the OpenAI server and get the response from there. So for making this request, we need these many parameters: endpoint, content type. Content type we marked as JSON because we need our response in a JSON format. Authorization, we need to pass our API key, which we have learned how to create that. So you can pass your API key here. After that, you need to pass the model you want to use and the rest of the parameters. So if you want to gain some knowledge about the parameters, you can get it from there and use the parameters according to them. So now I'm going to show you the code for this. So in this I have used a loop. It will run until from the input dialog click the cancel button. So clicking cancel button means that you don't want to caution anymore. So if you don't click the cancel button, it means you want to your caution or your request to go to the OpenAI and get a response from there. So we have used the activity invoke web service to request the response from the OpenAI using the API. And for this, we have used this endpoint method is post. The content type is JSON format, and I have used my API key for the authentication. And these are the parameter we have passed in the request body, like model as text NC. We have taken the prompt input as a dynamic content from the dialog box, and the rest of the parameters you can pass it like this, and you can change the values of these parameters according to your need after getting the information from the page which I have shown to you earlier. So the response from this variable get in a variable web services response. After this, I have printed the status box, message box. So then we'll get to know that our API successful if the code is 200. Then using this activity convert JSON to custom object, we'll convert the response from the OpenAI from JSON to the custom object in a way we need. So from this custom object, we'll fetch the particular content using this extraction. So after fetching the required content from here, like from the choices, we'll fetch the initial content. We'll print this content into this message box, and this will run in a iterative way in a loop till we click on cancel button on our dialog box. So now I'm going to run this process. So it will prompt you the dialog box so that you can put your question here. Like we'll put what is RPA. So now we clicked on OK button. So it will go inside this if condition and invoke the web service to get the response from the API. As you can see, 200 code is 200. It means our API got successful. like, like now it will convert the JSON output from this API call to the custom object and will give you the answer in a dialog box or the message box. So now again it will go into the loop and will ask for the second question. So now we'll ask what is chat GPT. Now again it will invoke the service or call the API of the OpenAI and get the response from there. Again the API call is successful as the status code is 200. So now again it converted the JSON response to the custom object and fetched the desired input from there and gave you the answer on the message box. So now we don't want to answer question anymore, so we can click on the cancel button, the loop and end the process. So this is a similar way like you can uh, interact with the chatbot. So in this process, you like if you want some conversational way or the want to do some conversation from the to the chat GPT or something, you can ask repeatedly into this dialog box, and it will like again and again call the API and get your response from there. Thank you. So this is all for this demo. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.